What's up, Lorehounds? Back here at BlizzCon 2015. I am It's Koopa once again here with Ben Brode and Rochelle Davis. So, also, you're the voice of BlizzCon.
That's true.
You want to give us a little taste?
Welcome to BlizzCon.
So, we're here checking out Hearthstone, Here's a Warcraft. You guys kind of blew everyone's mind. You announced, the new solo adventure. And then you proceeded to show every single card, all 45 of them, in your little Indiana Jones style getup, which is very cool. But then you took away like all of our content, right? So what am I supposed to talk about now? So thanks. But I'm going to start off probably the biggest question we have from some of our contributors, mainly Shaktaji, our Hearthstone nut. Why no new heroes recently, or even discussed?
So we were excited that people were so enthusiastic about our new heroes, but we definitely got feedback from both sides. There was some great and there was some not so great. And so we wanted to take some time to figure out how to make it all great. So we want to continue to look at new heroes. We don't have any plans right now or to announce for when you're going to see more, but we want to make sure that when you do, you feel really good about the new heroes we introduce.
So it's like kind of a little good, little bad feedback, and you're trying to figure out how to actually balance that and
yeah,
for
exactly.
the new ones?
Yeah.
Because I was being a lore junkie, and Shaktaji is not. So she was like, well, who would be like, the rogue? Or like in some classes, I was like, actually, I don't really know who the Alliance rogue would be. Or, certain circumstances, was that part of the problem? Like you couldn't...
I mean, there's a lot of Warcraft characters. Yeah. Some of the classes are a little bit lighter than others.
Yeah.
But there's like infinite warriors.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like warriors, we could go for days.
Yeah. But I mean... Yeah, it's we're working on it. I think you'll see some stuff coming out. Not soon, but not too far.
Okay, we expected at PAX East then. Just we'll hold you to that. So we definitely know that Hearthstone is huge in the numbers. Like we see people's spreadsheets and everything they create and stuff like that, and that's all manual, generally speaking. But obviously behind the scenes, you guys have all sorts of data and data nerds and stuff like that. Have you guys had any like wacky story of like the data guy came and like proposed something to you, being like, look at this crazy thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because we see, we can see every game that's played. We just see it all and see exactly what cards are winning and losing. And every once in a while, somebody makes a very unique card choice, like puts this random card in the deck, and they happen to be, there are players who have way outside of the statistical average win ratios. And so when a player like that puts this one random card, suddenly Angry Chicken's got a 70% win ratio. I'm like, what's going on? No one else is playing Angry Chicken.
Just break Angry
this
Chicken?
Guy's playing Angry Chicken. And so there's always some weird like random balance number that shoots to the top of the list because we have a very low sample size because not many other people are playing in. They found some new thing. But yeah, we're always looking at the numbers and trying to...
And could you see that through like even it filter through the streaming aspect of it too? Like where you see one of the big pro players that streams and you see him do this wacky thing and then the increase in the usage of that card, like
yeah, we definitely.
Day.
Well, what we usually do is look at month by month. So each season comes out and we say, okay, what were the decks that were played this month? How well do they perform overall? Is there any decks that are really, really over the edge as far as what we're comfortable with balance-wise? And we just try and get a sense of what people are playing and how they're doing.
Is it the strength of that data that allows you guys to put out so much content so quickly? Right? Like Blizzard generally is known as being slow. And yet you guys are just like blowing that out of the water.
I mean, in addition to that data, we have an incredibly talented balance team that is led by Mike Dene. And they are playing hundreds of games. I mean, I want to say hundreds a day. I have no idea how many they get in a day. They play a lot of Hearthstone. And so, I mean...
You mean work?
But it's not only the numbers, it's also the feel. So, I mean, the numbers are critical too. We look at that. We look at the spreadsheets. We look at the charts. But we have to also know that it's going to feel right. And so we have to get that manual testing in to make sure that that's working as well.
And that was actually one of our follow-up questions is you guys don't beta test, right? Like all your other games, there's beta periods, but not for Hearthstone. So are you just playing that many games behind the scenes and know the data so well that the need for that is less?
It's tough. We do company-wide tests as well, so we do expand the reach beyond just the 4 balance designers that are working on the sets. But beta tests have a long lead up time, and there's an amount of excitement and passion for new stuff, and we don't want to spoil everything, and then you have to wait 2 or 3 months while we rebalance things, put it out there. We'd rather spend the time to make sure it's right, do a lot of testing internally, and then put it out when we're confident in it. The problem is sometimes we have to come in and make balance changes later on. We don't like doing it, but it does happen.
But you've done that like twice, right? Like, so Warsong Commander was one, and then the Buzzard for the Hunter Beast deck was another.
We've done it more than twice, unfortunately. But ideally, we're learning. We're making cards that are still risky and exciting, but aren't pushing in maybe unhealthy ways. We've seen a lot less charge minions that can go straight to the enemy hero in recent expansions and adventures. We've seen a lot less card draw as well because they make the games feel more samey because you see your whole deck every game.
Yeah.
So we're learning about what's really fun in Hearthstone, doing more of that, pushing in those directions for future designs.
What about the accessibility aspect? Obviously, Hearthstone was designed to be one of those easy to come to game, but really hard to master. But now, you're over 40 million players now. People joining now have to learn hundreds of cards as opposed to when we started last year. And then also you have people like myself who maybe, fell out of favor or whatever, and now we're relapsing back to the addiction. But like, I feel behind and I'm concerned because I don't know what's going on and, I've lost the meta. How do you guys balance putting out the content as fast as you do, but still, getting those new players to be able to join?
What you described is absolutely a problem. And he's been describing it as, think about when there's 30 adventures, going to the store is going to be ridiculous. Like, what do we can't have that. Yeah. So it's a problem, and we have to fix it, and we have to figure out the right way to fix it. So we don't have anything just yet to talk about for what the solution is going to be, but we are totally looking at that so that the new players that want to come in or those that want to come back after a while don't feel that, oh my God, what has happened? Like, I don't know what's going on and how many cards do what, and so we're looking at that.
Do you guys look to also talk to with the other genre out there, the actual card games? Because, they've been out for 20 years, 30 years. So is there a little bit of camaraderie there?
There's a lot of different card games that have solved problems like this in a lot of different ways. We're a little bit unique in that we are purely digital games. We have some unique options available to us. And we're exploring basically every option. We're thinking about all of the possible ways we could solve problems like this. And I think we have some cool ideas. So we're gonna share some of that soon.
So in one of the panels, you guys were discussing Tavern Brawl and how you've found some things through that. Is that almost like kind of a test engine for you?
Go ahead.
Yeah, not kind of. Yeah, it's definitely.
It's totally a test engine. Cards, game modes, everything.
Yeah.
You just, whatever.
Well, it's really low risk, right?
Yeah.
If you hate the Tavern Brawl this week, it's gone in 5 days.
Yeah.
So like, we could try stuff, and some people do hate it, some people love it, but we learn a lot. So it's awesome.
Do you guys have a classification for like unsuccessful cards?
It depends on what you mean by unsuccessful.
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
How do we define successful and
Do
unsuccessful?
you have like, these are the junk cards, and we either need to somehow make them better by adding some synergy with other cards?
Here's the secret. Different cards appeal to different players, and their value changes over time. So there are players who really like to express themselves, to build a unique deck, and there are cards that say, hey, build a deck with me. I do something really weird and different. This is like lock and load. Like build a spell-based hunter deck. That's really different. And players like that challenge of deck building. There's also players who like great stories. They love it when you play a giant minion, or the Golden Monkey is a good example of a moment in a game that's just crazy. And there's also players who love to show their dominance, and they're really good at strategy games, and they want to win. And we have cards for all those types of players. And not every card has to appeal to everybody. But also, the Paladin Secrets, for example, were not very good. Players weren't really playing a lot of them. And now all of a sudden they're tier 1. Right. So cards change over time. Some of them are even good in solo adventures or tavern brawls. It's okay to have some.
Did you make that an actual point to try and make them more useful at that point?
I think it's interesting when cards change values over time. So, this card wasn't good before. What can we do to shake it up? Also, I'm always looking for ways to give players new ways to use their cards, to try new deck types. We put some shaman cards that are Murloc based in to try and give players a brand new way to play shaman. And we're bolstering old deck types, and we're trying out new ones. And this one was like, what if you could play a secret-based paladin deck? That's pretty cool. It's maybe more powerful than we thought it might be originally, but it's definitely different, and you look at those cards differently now. So it's fun to try that kind of thing.
So we heard, I forget if this was in one of the financial things or if it was just a strict rumor, but that the Activision Blizzard parent kind of company wasn't really behind Hearthstone early. Was there ever a chance that, now 40 million players later, it wasn't going to come out?
I have almost no interaction with the Activision Blizzard level, but even like amongst Blizzard, the company, because there's lots of people who, and this was a big challenge when we were making Hearthstone, is we're making a card game, and people responded like, oh, I don't know if that's for me. It feels a little bit like, maybe this is the wrong word, but nerdy. And we were like, okay, we have a lot of kind of stuff to get past, right? How do we convince players that this is actually not that complicated?
Those preconceived notions.
It's accessible. To give it a try, it's fun. We loved card games. We wanted to bring the joy of card games to more people. So a lot of it was just trying to make it beautiful and little fun things. When you look at somebody playing, you're like, oh, that looks fun. I want to try that. But yeah, this is not uncommon for us to say we're making a card game, and everybody like, oh, that sounds like a bad idea. But once you play Hearthstone, you're like, oh, I get it. This is actually fun.
Yeah.
And it was pretty rapid. As soon as we went in alpha, everybody who was like, I don't know if this is right, was like, okay, all right. Let's.
We had teams that the management was like, we need to actually reduce the time you're allowed to play Hearthstone, because of that, which is a great problem to have. And that's when we kind of knew,
Yeah.
you know what, this needs to get out there.
Yeah, once people started playing the game, the whole company really rallied around it. It's been awesome. Everyone's helping give feedback on the cards that we're making and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
All that beta testing started happening without asking.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great. Yeah.
All right, so we have the League of Explorers coming out in just a few days, you guys. That was the last, oh, by the way. So November 12th, right?
Yes.
And
5
then
days from now.
Yep. And it's the same setup as all the other solo adventures. Wings unlock, every week and
Yeah,
whatnot.
it's going to be the first wing on November 12th. A week later, the next wing. The next week is Thanksgiving. We're taking a 1 week break, and then we come back for another wing and another wing a week after that. So,
All right, we'll see you guys in the tavern. Thanks so much.
thank you.